Welcome to my oil painting channel, and on this channel we keep things nice and simple. So if that's for you, keep watching. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and in the link in the description there's a link to my website where I've got a membership option which you can take your oil painting a little bit further with access to reference photos, huge amounts of library of demonstrations that are easy to follow along, and also we've got the members forum as well, so you can interact with like-minded artists. So let's get on with the video and say hit that like and subscribe, notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Let's get on with it. The other night on our walk I took some photographs, and this is one of the scenes behind us that I took. It's actually, I cropped right into this scene, and I'm going to see if I can capture this in oils. So let's give it a go. So let's start with the sky, which it's lovely and warm. So let's try some orange, cyan crimson, and quite a bit of white. The sky's a little bit overexposed, or probably quite a bit overexposed in the reference. So I will just adjust that myself. So it's about there, the land, and then we've got trees coming through there. It's lighter as we travel up. So most of this painting is actually sky, and I think possibly a bit of lemon yellow. So the colours I've got on here are titanium white, lemon yellow, cadmium orange, and cyan crimson, magenta, ultramarine blue, Prussian blue, and viridian, earth green, and sap green. So just painting that tonal variation into the next one, but not necessarily going for just straight lines across. We want a little bit of atmosphere. And then as I go up, I'll just keep adding a bit more white, a bit more lemon yellow. And I'll see what that looks like with the painting, and can always make adjustments. And it starts to go a little bit more bluish at the top there, but I think just aim for just going with white and what's left on the brush. This is a fairly small panel, 8 by 10 inches. So that's most of the painting done. And then let's switch to another brush. And I think probably Prussian blue will be the choice here, with maybe a little bit of magenta. And let's just see what that does. So I've not added any white to it because I know when it mixes with the what's on there already, that's going to do the job. But I want to make sure I've got plenty of sky holes coming through. Dips down there. So that's the lighter value that's off in the distance there. Start with that. There is a building. There. And let's just bring that down a bit further. And then into the grass. I shall keep that brush separate. and it's quite cool. So let's try some Viridian into there, maybe a bit of this earth green. And if in doubt, just do a little check. Bit of red just to desaturate it. Let's try that. And then another brush. We've got this dark here, so let's go for Prussian blue and Viridian. Maybe a touch of magenta. Bit of sap green. I'm not worried about detail at the moment, I'm just putting the shapes in. We've got that hedgerow there. More Prussian blue, magenta, sap green. I'd have to watch the video again then to see what colours I mixed. Tend to do it quite quickly. So sharp edge there for this tree. So this is, I'm just going to roll the brush across there. Try and leave a few little sky holes. This is what's going to create that sense of light by putting this strong dark here. Roll that brush, and we've got lovely warm and cool colours. Don't lose those sky holes. Again, just concentrate on the big shapes first. Big shapes, medium shapes, and then small shapes. And then more grass area, which I shall just take some of that earth green, pull it into there. Bit of blue. So that's slightly darker than the field off in the distance. So this is a photograph I took a couple of days ago, and I've cropped right in to get that distant view and get a composition that looks good. A bit darker in that area here, because I suppose this is blocking the light, so it's, and like I say, we've said it many times, you need those darks to get the light. So that's the panel covered, and we've got a sense of light and the right feel of the painting. Now we just need to add the medium shapes and then the small ones. So tonally, I think we need to go a little bit darker off there. So let's use some ultramarine blue and magenta. And let's just put some of that green in there, which will just milk it up and desaturate it a little bit. So we've just got little canopies of these trees here, but you're probably better off to keep this pretty much as a flat shape. We can suggest perhaps a few trees maybe. I'm increasing the contrast, making it slightly darker in areas, but try and leave some of this lighter value to come through in places, which will perhaps give those trees, you know, a little bit more realism. And if I look at the reference, I think I do see some green. Again, just do a little colour check. So hopefully you're enjoying this video. Please do hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And don't forget to check out those links in the description if you want to paint along with me, perhaps on a live stream, and have access to a huge library of full demonstrations like this. Just make any little adjustments. So I quite like the sky holes, so I'm actually going to close some of these trees up a little bit just to make that light come through. And that's probably enough, to be fair. We're overworking otherwise. Let's put some trees across here with my rigger. So nice strong dark. Flatten the rigger so we get a flat shape, and then just go for it. Keep reloading the brush. And just a few little touches of the brush, which could be the little twigs. Let's just use a bit of red on its own. If I just push down on the brush, make a right mess of the end of it. Keep reloading. It's better. Again, it's all just an illusion. Let's pull some of that green out of there. A bit more solid in there, I think. So we've got another tree here. So we're going to have to just lay that paint onto what's here. So literally just lay the paint on top of there, and then just build the shape, and then we'll adjust it to make it look like a tree. It's not so bad because there's not too much white there. But, you know, it can be quite blocky, and then we'll use that rigger. Quite good to bring that up past there, up into the sky. And let's just darken that hedgerow. And back to my rigger with some of that Prussian blue, bit of green. Really load it up. And again, just make it look sort of like a tree. And we can just flick that hedgerow up a little bit. Not too much, just break up that straight line so it's not too perfect. Maybe put a little bit of a line under that building to make it look more like a building. While I've got the rigger on the go, let's put a bird in the sky. So we've got an old gate here. And some fence posts. And some cool green, minty green. The grass has just been cut. Just throw that across there. Remember, it's darker in this side. Push it across that way. And now, compositionally, is there anything that would improve this scene? We don't have to stick to the photograph completely. You know, what if we had a tall tree behind that one there to create more of a sort of H composition and a bit of a stop to stop the eye disappearing off the page. You can always try it on your reference if you're not sure. You know, if it's a laminated photo, or this is not a laminated photo, but I'm only going to use it once, so maybe a branch going across here. Again, just a few smaller branches. You can even have a few trees off on the side here that are out of view. And then my bird has become a branch by the looks of it. Put him in again. Maybe we'll have him there. We'll give him a box. You have to keep reloading that brush, because as soon as you paint into that sky, it picks up the white paint and you lose the dark. And that's what is working nicely about this scene, is the contrast. And don't fall into the trap of having to paint every, well, I'm actually painting branches that aren't there now, so you don't need to paint too many. It's fine. So let's just clean this brush off a little bit. And I quite like in the photo, it's sort of very cool blue, that gate. So let's try that. So that was just a bit of ultramarine blue and a bit of white. sure it's mixed up properly, so I don't want any white here. With a steady hand, obviously I scraped out with the end of the brush, which will lift a bit of paint off, so I should be able to get that blue on there. A little bit lighter on the end. And if we put the little cross in there, it'll actually look like a gate then. And then you start to, the more you look, you start to see things everywhere. So there's actually a hedgerow across here. But you know, just because it's there, you don't actually have to put it in. And does it actually improve the scene by having that in there? Not sure. Right, let's just put a little bit of texture in that tree there. And make sure I've got my darks. So the red, Prussian blue, magenta, touch of Viridian, that'll give me a nice strong dark. So I really lay that paint on there nice and thick around the gate. Increase that contrast. Even put a few dark ones in there. Because this is probably going to be the darkest part of this hedge, because the sun's gone down over that hill over there. So there's no light on this hedgerow whatsoever. Any light that's on this hedge here is reflected light. If I go a little bit darker at the top here, where those sky holes are, again, that's increasing the contrast. I've got this little fan brush. I can just mess up a little bit. I'm going to push that paint up into there to soften a few areas. So this is a little bit weak over here. It needs some darker branches, and that's just because the when I painted it, it picked up the white, and it just so nicely loaded up brush. Just lay the paint on top. Just keep reloading. Just do a little bit at a time. Slightly better. I think I'll call that one done. Just a short little exercise, that one. There you go. Good luck with your painting. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, you'll love this one.